All right. Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone. So I'm Heidi Alexander. I'm the director of the SJC's Standing Committee on Lawyer Wellbeing, and our work is examining issues that impact the well-being of lawyers in the legal profession. And we work collaboratively with all of the bar associations to implement programs and services and initiatives to improve well-being. We have worked closely with CPCS and others. So thank you all for being here today. Recently, we compiled results from the first demographic survey of lawyers in Massachusetts, and we found that 2/3 of the registered and active lawyers actually work in either solo practice or a small firm or organization with 20 or fewer lawyers. And so we're very well aware that we need to address issues that impact the well-being, in particular, of attorneys in solo and small firms. We know that folks in small firms also encounter financial pressures, including obtaining health insurance for their employees. And of course, this impacts many firms, and both in terms of the stress of the financial pressures, but as well as the lack of health insurance options, which impact the well-being of attorneys in these firms. And so this program that we're going to be talking about today has really helped to alleviate those pressures. So I want to turn it over now to Mala Rafiq, who is a member of the SJC Standing Committee, to share any words she may have.
Thanks, Heidi. So I just wanted to welcome you all and offer my services before Shaitra and Nikki speak about the availability of health insurance through the connector just for lawyers. I want to, they'll dispel a bunch of the sort of the misconceptions that people have about obtaining health insurance through the connector. But I can also help in that respect. So I will put my contact information in the chat. I urge any of you, if you have any follow-up questions or concerns, to just give me a call. I've paid for private health insurance through our firm for a gajillion years and at a cost of $4 gajillion. This is a great program. It's equivalent benefits. Massachusetts is highly regulated in the benefits that they offer. So you're not going to get lesser benefits through the connector, but it's going to be less expensive. So I will turn it over to Shaitra and Nikki, and thank you so much for doing this and doing this for lawyers.
Great. Thank you, Mala. Thank you, Heidi. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing the screen. If someone could just let me know that I'm in a good state in slideshow. Yes? Slideshow? Okay. I saw a thumbs up, then I saw a shake. So thank you all for joining us today. Myself and my colleague, Nikki Conti, we're going to provide you with some great information today that we have partnered with the Lawyers Wellbeing Committee. And we're going to be providing you with options to make sure that you can get affordable quality health coverage for yourself and your employees. So I'm going to start by giving you a little overview of what the Health Connector is, and then I'm going to hand it over to Nikki to go into what's available for sole proprietors and owner only. So again, if you're familiar with the Health Connector, you probably think of us as a place to come to for health insurance, which that is what we are. We are the state's health insurance marketplace. And what we do is we provide individuals, families, and small employers access to affordable health coverage. So at the second half of this presentation, I'm going to talk a little bit about what businesses with 1 to 50 full-time equivalent employees outside of just an owner can offer to themselves and their employees through the Health Connector for Business. We also have our individual platform for those who can't get health insurance through a job or other source, as well as there might be individuals here that are sole proprietors, owner only, run a very small firm, but it's just you who needs the health insurance, and you do not have any employees who do not have ownership who might need the health insurance. And Nikki's going to talk a little bit about that and what you have accessibility to. Also, just to let you know, if you've come to the Health Connector before and haven't really seen quite the the premium that you were looking for, there's new savings that can help individuals pay for health insurance through the American Rescue Plan and Inflation Reduction Act. So it's a great time to come back and take a look and see what is available. And just to let you know, we're going to talk a lot about health today, but dental insurance is also available through the Health Connector and the Health Connector for Business. So I just want to tell you that Nikki's going to talk a little bit about some great plans that are available on the Health Connector, those that have a advanced premium tax credit, some special connector care plans, possibly some catastrophic plans. And then I'm going to talk about the plans that are available through the Health Connector for Business. But what I want you to take away from this is that no matter what you're looking at, whether you're going to look at the individual side because you're an owner only or a sole proprietor, or if you're going to look on the Health Connector for Business because you're trying to insure yourself and some employees, all the plans sold through the Health Connector meet state and federal standards for coverage, which means they meet minimum credible coverage. And when we speak about minimum credible coverage, what we are telling you is that under the state's minimum coverage standard, the plans must have these minimal 10 essential benefits. So all the plans on the Health Connector, whether it's Health Connector or Health Connector for Business, all have at least these 10 essential benefits within every single plan offered, and some may have more. So you can feel secure that you are offering yourself and your employees health insurance that actually meets the state's minimum coverage. So I just want to let you know that when you come to the Health Connector for Business and the Health Connector, we stated that we're a marketplace. As a marketplace, we are actually offering plans through all the leading insurers here in Massachusetts. So what you'll see here is some great logos that will probably be familiar to you, but these are all the leading insurers in Massachusetts. And based on where your business is or your residence, you'll see what is available to you. But all of these are integrated into our one system. So it's a great one-stop shopping solution for you all to just compare and look at all of the plans available to you from all of the carriers in one spot. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to my colleague, Nikki Conti, who will talk a little bit about what's available for anyone who does not have any employees under them and just needs to get health insurance for themselves and their families.
Thanks so much, Shaitra, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. You know, as Malo was talking about how important this is, just wanted to convey that we feel the same way. You know, we don't want anyone in Massachusetts to go without coverage, and if there are opportunities for people to get additional savings and paying for that coverage, we want to make sure people are aware of them. So with that, I just want to dive into this slide and just to talk about a little bit more, about the fact that we have more dollars, more savings available to folks who are coming through the individual and family platform. So Shaitra mentioned, if you are sole proprietor or owner only, you would be coming through this platform to shop. And because of the American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act, we've been able to extend these savings and extend the income limits, et cetera, for people to get these coverage savings. So I just wanted to state that up front, because if you had come to the Health Connector in the past and you looked at the income guidelines and said, you know, this isn't for me, I'm not going to get any help here, I would just want to kind of redirect you to our Get an Estimate tool. When you get these slides, you'll have all of these links, but if you want to also search while we're going through this presentation, if you go to the mahealthconnector.org website, in the upper left-hand corner, there is a tool called Get an Estimate. And you can enter really some very basic answer some very basic questions about yourself or your family size and income, and you can see if you qualify for any federal tax credits. So going on to the next slide, there's just a couple of things I want to make sure everyone knows about applying. So practically speaking, there are 3 ways to apply, but the fastest way to apply is by using our online application at mahealthconnector.org. It's also really important for me to explain that we also have a website and the application available in Spanish. It's the same web address, just with a /ES/. Now, if you want to get assistance over the phone, you can certainly do so by calling our customer service center Or we also have in-person help available at different community organizations. And these are our partners. Some of them are navigators, some of them are known as certified application counselors. They may be able to help you at their facility, or even, another type of organization. So I'll cover more of that in later slide, but I just want to explain that when you are applying for health insurance coverage through the Health Connector, we have what's known as an integrated eligibility system. Don't worry, you don't need to remember that for any reason other than knowing that when a person applies through mahealthconnector.org, they're actually going through one application, and depending on what their situation is and what the information is that they're entering, they may find that they qualify for a Health Connector coverage with or without any help, with or without any subsidy, or sometimes people find that they qualify for Mass Health. So I just want to explain the background around getting letters from both the Health Connector and Mass Health. We have some legal requirements that we do need to let people know that even if they qualify for a Health Connector plan, they'll get a notice from Mass Health saying that they don't qualify for that. So just want to get ahead of that for you. Now, the income guidelines, I briefly mentioned this. So as you can see from the chart, you can notice here that depending on the household size, there are some income limits or income guidelines for the Connector Care program. So you can see a family of 4 who's making $78,600 or less may be able to qualify for a Connector Care plan if they meet all of the other eligibility requirements. However, if you look at the last column and you're looking at advanced premium tax credits, those limits have gone away. And again, as you can see on the slide, they've gone away because it is actually because of the American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act. So now instead of an income limit, people qualify for advanced premium tax credit based on affordability. And that's something that the system will calculate for you on the back end. So you don't need to worry about figuring out the 8.5%, et cetera. The system will do that for you. You just need to answer the questions in the application. So Shaitra mentioned at the very beginning all of the different kinds of coverage that you could get through the Health Connector. So she alluded to the fact that every single health insurance on the state's website on mahealthconnector.org meets state standards. So they're all MCC compliant. They're all known as qualified health plans. And very specifically on the individual and family side, you could in fact qualify for advanced premium tax credits. So what that means is these tax credits are going to lower the amount of a premium that you pay each month. And those dollars go directly to the health insurance carrier. So as a consumer, you just simply pay less for your monthly premium. Now, as a consumer, you will find that if you qualify for advanced premium tax credits, you will see a figure that you qualify for on a monthly basis. And if your income fluctuates, or let's say you're not 100% comfortable taking that full amount of advanced tax credit, you do have the right to adjust that tax credit and reduce some of your tax liability. So I just want to let you all know about that. So you have this flexibility and you can decide how much it is that you actually want to apply. Now, unique to Massachusetts, we have what's known as the Connector Care program. And these are great, just comprehensive programs, low cost sharing for consumers. And the way in which we're able to provide those low dollar premiums is by using a combination of the federal advanced premium tax credits plus state dollars. And that's how we get to the lower amount. Now, depending on the plan type you qualify for, you could choose a plan for as low as $0, or again, it's going to vary depending on which one you enroll in. But again, hold on one second, I'm so sorry. But as I had mentioned before, if you go to the Get an Estimate tool, you'll be able to kind of see what's available to you, what carriers there are, and what savings. So what are you going to need to apply? You're going to need social security numbers for everyone if they have one. If there are immigration documents, you want to grab any of those documents. If you have immigration documents, there is a link on our website. And if you need to compare something that you have against, a particular type of document, you'll be able to do that. Now, we are going to ask information about your income just because we need to know whether or not you in fact could qualify for some savings. So we can do that a couple of different ways. We'll look for net income from self-employment or pay stubs if you have them. Also, if there's any other current income, so for example, if you have rental income and you have any annuities, we would want to know about that information. And if you don't have all of that ready, simply just give us what you have. The state will send you a letter asking for more information if we need it. So going on to the next slide, I just want to talk a little bit about enrollment periods. So if you've been following the news, I remember hearing on Monday on the radio, I heard them say, okay, today's the last day of Health Connectors open enrollment. But I don't want to discourage anybody from applying for coverage if they don't have any and they need it. People could find that they have a qualifying life event, which basically opens a special enrollment period for you outside of our typical open enrollment period. So life events are things like a change in household size, income going up or down, an address change. So if you moved into Massachusetts, let's say, or you move within Massachusetts, let's say you were living in Western Mass and now you are planning to move to Southeastern Mass. Well, you're going to need to, or you may need to change your health insurance plan because you may have a different network available to you, different physicians. So one thing I want to just point out here is that if you do have a qualifying event, you should report that within 60 days of it happening. 30 days of it happening. And then you have 60 days from that date to actually select a new plan. And while this is going on, all payment enrollment deadlines still do apply. So going on to the next slide, I mentioned previously that you can get help enrolling in health insurance coverage. So I think one thing that's really important for me to convey is that, this application is doable on your own. If you have ever done TurboTax or anything like that, you can certainly gather your information, sit down and go through the application process on your own. Now, if at any point you get stuck, you can call our 877 number, our customer service number here. And if you give the customer service representative permission to access your account, they can pick up wherever it is that you left off or wherever it is that you got stuck, and they can help you get across the finish line. When you get this presentation, you'll have links to our website, including this direct link to our customer service call center, phone numbers, hours of operation, etc. The second side of this slide here talks a little bit about community partners. So I alluded to this earlier, but I just want to give you a little bit more information. So there are folks in the field known as navigators or certified application counselors. Now, they speak many languages. They typically speak the language of the community that they are, I was going to say stationed in, but where their organization is. Now, these folks have been trained. They are able and available to help you answer questions about the application, about eligibility, about enrollment. Now, just due to COVID-19 and public health precautions, we do still recommend that you call ahead to schedule an appointment, and know that there's flexibility with what type of appointment you can get. A lot of these locations are offering virtual appointments in addition to in-person. So if you want to find some help near you, you can use our link here. And then certainly when you call, you can just explain what type of assistance you are in fact looking for and who you want to make an appointment with. So I will pass this back over to my colleague Shaitra now.
Thanks so much, Nikki. And just for a quick update and just a reminder, I just want to remind everyone that what Nikki was presenting on is what's available to those who have a business in which they might be the owner and they're the only ones who needs health insurance. You would go the route of the Health Connector Individuals and Families platform. But what I'm going to talk to you about is the Health Connector for Business, and that's available for firms who have employees in addition to if the owner wants health insurance. But this is for those who do not have ownership in the business and need to provide health insurance to the full business and that have 50 or fewer employees. So that is what Health Connector for Business is designed for. And let's go into this. So really quickly, just to give you an idea of some of the benefits that we've heard back on using Health Connector for Business. We have, heard back from employers that it's great opportunity for one-stop shopping solution. As I told you before, we have all the leading insurers in one spot, easy to compare plans, easy to look at carriers, see how much each one is, what's their coverage area, all of that in one location, the marketplace. As well as we've heard that by utilizing the Health Connector for Business, the small business can actually save on average about 20%, and that's through the comparison shopping. There's also some great rebates. There's a wellness rebate called Connect Well, where employers can actually receive back up to 15% of what they put into their employees' health insurance premiums by promoting wellness in the business. And also flexible employee choice model. This is a very unique way of offering health insurance to your employees while controlling your budget and keeping your costs constant. In addition to what Nikki talked about, we also have free certified assistants on the Health Connector for Business side, and those are your independent neighborhood brokers. There's over 470 certified brokers on the Health Connector for Business who have their license and can assist you for free, as well as there's no membership fees or dues to utilize the Health Connector for Business. Just pay the premium. And just to reiterate, all the plans on the Health Connector and the Health Connector for Business meet state and federal minimum credible coverage, and they have received the Health Connector seal of approval for quality and value. As well as there are some extra highlights to utilizing the Health Connector for Business. You have access to health savings account compatible plans through the Health Connector for Business. So if that's another benefit that you want to put in place for yourself and your employees, you can find a plan that is compatible with that through the Health Connector for Business. As well as we also have PPO plans available through the Health Connector for Business, which makes it easy for you to offer health insurance if you have employees outside of the state. They can go ahead and enroll in a PPO plan. So let me talk about the employee choice models. This is a very unique, exclusive way of offering health insurance, and it's only available through the Health Connector for Business. So there's a lot of ways to get health insurance as a small business here in Massachusetts, but this particular way of offering health insurance through the employee choice models is only available through the Health Connector for Business. And the goal of the employee choice model is to allow for an employer to control their costs by setting like a budget plan, while providing multiple insurance options to their employees so that their employees can choose a plan that best fits their needs. And since this is a completely online process, no paperwork required, it's very easy if you offer your employees several options for them to compare the options and choose the plan that best fits their needs, because it's all online and they can compare and contrast, look at the prices, and then make their choice selection right online. So the employee choice models are called one plan, one carrier, one level. This is a chart that describes it in the health insurance world. I'm going to now change it over to something more interesting, which is pizza. So how does one plan work? So remember, we have one plan, one carrier, one level. You can offer any one of these benefits. One plan. So imagine you and your employee agree to share the cost of a pizza. Your employee is going to get the whole pizza, but you, the business, are going to share the cost of that pizza with your employee. The way one plan works is you, the decision maker, will decide what pizzeria it's coming from, what type of pizza it is, and then you agree to pay for a portion of it. So in this case, we have decided that you, the decision maker, have decided to offer a $10 pepperoni pizza from maybe the pizzeria down the block, and the business is going to pay for half of it. So if that employee wants that pizza, needs that pizza, they're going to get a pepperoni pizza from the pizzeria down the block, and they're going to pay for the other half of it because you pay for the first half of it. And so that's how one plan works. And if you're thinking about health insurance, this is how it works. You choose what carrier, insurance company, that you're going to offer. You choose a plan from that insurance company, and you offer it to all your employees while you're paying a portion of it, some kind of contribution percentage. All the employees enroll in the same plan, or they waive it because they don't need health insurance, but they do not get a choice. Now, this is one plan. This is offered elsewhere, but we wanted to make sure that we also offer it on our platform. Now, one carrier, this is exclusive to us. We are the ones who offer this. One carrier works a little differently. So imagine you and your employees still decide to share the cost of a pizza. Now, you as the decision maker, you decide where the pizza is coming from. So you'll say, you can get a pizza from the pizzeria down the block. We've looked at the menu, and we have decided that the business can afford to pay for half of the $10 pepperoni pizza. So what you just did was decide that the pizza is coming from the pizzeria down the block. You have allotted a budget for the pepperoni pizza, half of that. Your employees, though, can go ahead and either choose the pepperoni pizza that you've offered, or they can choose another pizza and just pay the difference. So one employee might want a cheese pizza. The cheese pizza might only be $8, but you've already allotted $5 for it, which is the half of the pepperoni pizza. So that employee would only pay the other $3. Or maybe they want a supreme pizza. That supreme pizza could be $15. You've allotted the $5 budget from the pepperoni pizza, and they'll pay the other $10. Or they might just get the pepperoni pizza and pay the other half. The only thing is they're choosing what pizza, but they have to get it from the pizzeria down the block, and they could use the allotted budget. So that's how one carrier works. And this is what it kind of looks like. You choose what carrier it is, insurance company. You look at the plans available from them. You choose what plan the business can afford to pay a contribution percentage into. And then the employees can choose the benefit model, the benefit tier that they and their family need, therefore allowing them to kind of control their out-of-pocket costs at service time, because that's what the benefit tiers differentiate between. Now, one level is also exclusive to us. One level is where you, as the decision maker, decide what type of pizza your employees are going to have access to. So in this case, let's say you decide everyone's going to be able to buy a pepperoni pizza. So everyone's going to get a pepperoni pizza. You look at the pizzerias in your neighborhood. You choose that the business can afford to pay into the $10 pepperoni pizza from the pizzeria down the block. You tell your employees this. Now they can take that portion, that $5 towards the pepperoni pizza from the pizzeria down the block, and put it towards any pepperoni pizza from any of the pizzerias in the coverage area, we'll call the neighborhood, because some of them might prefer a different maybe ingredient, sauce, or something like that. So they might want to buy from different pizzerias. And as you know, the pizza's cost is going to differ from different pizzerias depending on what kind of ingredients and stuff they put in it. So one employee might go to one pizzeria, another one might go to the other pizzeria. The only thing is they're taking your allotted budget, the amount that you chose from that pizzeria, and using it towards a pepperoni pizza. So they have to get a pepperoni pizza. So in one level, this is kind of what we're talking about. So what you're doing is choosing what kind of benefit tier they're going to have access to. You're choosing the carrier's plan that the business can afford to pay a contribution percentage into. And then you're allowing for your employees to choose the plan from the carrier that pretty much has their doctors in the network, because that's what's going to differentiate for them between carriers, which doctor is in the network of the carrier. So they all have access to the same benefit tier. And the plans from that benefit tier is just that the networks may be different. And they'll pay the difference outside the one the business can afford to pay into. So I talked about also opportunities to get money back for offering health insurance to your employees and promoting wellness in the business. And that's through the Connect Well program. The Connect Well program is an exclusive wellness rebate program that is for Health Connector for business employers who enroll through the Health Connector and have 25 or fewer employees enrolled at initial enrollment. What employers can possibly get back is up to 15% of what they put into their employees' health insurance premiums if 33% of their enrolled employees participate in a wellness activity. The employees are actually incentivized also for participating in the wellness activity, and they will receive a $100 Visa gift card. The wellness activities, there's over 30 pre-approved wellness activities, and an employee only has to complete and successfully upload and get approved for one activity during the benefit year. And it's all online. So, they get the form, they submit it online, they get approved online, they receive their Visa gift card through the email. So very easy, not a lot of paperwork. And if it is, it's just uploading paperwork. And just to let you know how easy some of these wellness activities are, actually a well visit is one of the wellness activities. So that costs the employee nothing because it's a zero cost sharing benefit from the insurance plan, and the employee will get a $100 Visa gift card. They have the health insurance to go get the well visit, and they'll go towards your 33% participation towards that rebate. And just to let you know, we don't just tell you about the rebate program and then just hope that everything goes through. We actually help you along the way to get your employees to participate in the wellness program so that you can receive back this 15%. So just to let you know, if your group is eligible to participate, meaning they have 25 or fewer employees enrolled and they haven't already received this rebate 3 times, we automatically enroll you. You don't have to ask to be enrolled in this program. We email employees every other month to remind them to take action, take part in this wellness program, get their $100 Visa gift card. We update you every other month to let you know what percentage you're at towards being part of the 33% or more to get your rebate. Once the employee completes the activity, they upload it. Once it's approved, they'll immediately receive their Visa gift card. And then once you've hit 33% participation, we email you, we let you know you've hit it. And at the end of the year, we'll send you some paperwork to fill out and send us back so that you can get your check for up to 15% of what you put into your employees' health insurance premiums. And just to let you know that it's real, we did go out prior to the, pandemic and going remote, and we started giving out these big checks for the Connect Well rebate. And this was one of the checks that we brought back, and it was to Marcy Berger, and she said, we heard that there would be a 15% rebate. And I said, yeah, believe it when I see it. And here it is. So she received money back, about $4,300 that she can utilize however she would like. She could utilize it for health insurance on the next, renewal date or any other thing that the business needs, but she got that money back. There's also another way to receive back money as shopping through the Health Connector for Business for your health insurance and your employees' health insurance, and that's the small business healthcare tax credit. So I don't talk too much about this only because what I always suggest is that you ask your tax professional if you might be eligible for this federal small business healthcare tax credit. But the reason that I bring it up is because the only businesses that can even ask their tax professional if they might be eligible for this tax credit is those who have shopped through a state's small business health insurance marketplace. And that is the Health Connector for Business. So that is one of the requirements. So if you offer health insurance through the Health Connector for Business, you can mention it at tax time, and then your accountant, tax professional will take a look at the other items that could or could not make you eligible for the small business healthcare tax credit. But the fact that you offered health insurance through the Health Connector for Business is an opening reason to speak about it. So now that you've heard all these great benefits of offering yourself and your employees health insurance through the Health Connector for Business, how can you go ahead and get started? Well, there's this great landing page that is dedicated to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court Standing Committee on Lawyer Well-Being. And I know that it's on the site that Heidi will definitely provide in the chat. And you can come here, take a look at it, click on, creating an account. You can create a quote on there, similar to what Nikki was talking about, getting an estimate, take a look at what's available for you. You can reread about Connect Well, the small business healthcare tax credit. Everything is available at this web page. And Nikki mentioned that there's a open and close enrollment time on the individual and family side. For small businesses, there is no open or closed enrollment period. Small businesses with at least one non-owner enrolling can offer health insurance on the first of any month during the year, and they will renew on their anniversary date the next year. The only thing that we ask is that the prior month, if you are going to offer health insurance to yourself and your employees through the Health Connector for Business, that you hit some of the deadlines listed here. So for instance, if you wanted to offer health insurance for March 1st, by February 10th, you want to already submit your application as an employer, offer the health insurance, which means opening enrollment. And then your employees will go ahead and look at what's available to them through their accounts and enroll or waive with a valid waiver no later than, in this case, February 20th. And then we just ask for the first payment to be made online, and coverage will begin on the 1st. So very smooth. And again, everything is online and easy to complete. And Nikki had mentioned that there's navigators available and certified application counselors available on the individual and family side. And again, we have very similar assistance available on the Health Connector for Business, and that's an independent local broker who has been certified to utilize the Health Connector for Business. They are free for you to utilize. They're able to put together easy cost estimates and present to you what might be the best option for you based on what you guys have discussed. This is their professional line of business. They are the subject matter experts, so they understand what they're offering you. They can explain plan options. They can talk to you about summary of benefits and coverage. Anything you need to know about health or dental insurance, they are the subject matter experts, and that will allow you more time to do what your subject matter expertise is. And I'm going to assume everyone on here is going to be law, so you can spend more time on there while they take care of the health insurance that you'd like to offer yourself and your employees. So we just try to remind you a little bit of the difference, and I'm sure I'll ask Nikki to come back on because we're about to open it up for questions. But we just want to let you know that small business employees and owners that qualify to offer coverage, that do not qualify to offer coverage on the Health Connector for Business, would go the route that Nikki was speaking about. And those who do not qualify would be those who are sole proprietors, owner only, maybe partnerships, and only the partners are enrolling, family run business, anyone who does not have like a non-owner enrolling. And then through the Health Connector for Business, those are small businesses with at least one non-owner employee enrolling with them. And just to remind you, both platforms have very similar deadlines, and the 23rd should always stay in your mind because that's the payment deadline on both sides. So what Nikki and I like to try to always present ourselves as is very smooth transition. So for instance, if you're a sole practitioner right now and you start your health insurance on the individual and family side, and then you do hire someone maybe later in the year, you can easily transition from the individual and family side right to the small business side, because again, the deadlines are very, very similar and they align. So it'll be very easy for you to say, okay, I'm no longer going to have the individual and family health insurance. I'm going to go on to the business one. So we tried to make sure we align very cleanly. And now I think I'll open it up for questions if you want to control that, Heidi or Mala.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording now so that we can open it up for questions.